Hi guys, I'm Jordanne. So for my video, I have two things for you. One of them is a resource that I found that I really wanted to share because I think it's amazing for any grade. For this one, I created a written resource that I'll attach at the end. I focused on pre-K to 3 just because that's my specialization, but you can really take this book and use it upwards of any grade. I'm a big fan of using literature in my classroom, so this is kind of one thing that I found and I couldn't resist sharing. So this is what the book is called. It's called If Picasso Painted a Snowman by Amy and Greg Newbold. I'll kind of do a little picture walk with you, but it has a lot of possibilities for lessons, different curricular connections. I covered a lot of them within the written sheet that you can access online. The second part, after I show you this book, I thought of snowman and I thought of puff paint. So I was going to show you how to make and how you can use puff paint and explore that. It's kind of a fun craft that the kids can be a part of. It can link with math curriculum, with measuring if you have the kids making it with you. So it's a fun little activity. But with this book, so you go through it, and I kind of thought a good opening, I kind of laid out a lesson, but a good opening could be, you could discuss what is a snowman and what does it look like. And generally when you think of a snowman, you think of circles stacked on top of each other with a carrot nose and coal eyes, and it kind of has, a specific look to it. So kind of deconstructing the idea that one image is right and that other images are wrong if you can't get them perfect or your image doesn't look exactly like you want it to. So having that discussion and looking at this book. So this is a bunch of different artists in here, which is awesome because you're also exploring history of different artists, different types of mediums, different styles. So we'll look inside and I'll show you some of the things that are in it because it is really awesome. But not all artists paint the same. So it goes into Pablo. So if Pablo Picasso painted a snowman, what would it look like? So this is his snowman. And then it goes on to J.M.W. Turner's snowman, Lost in the Blizzard. So this is his interpretation of a snowman. So it doesn't just have to be the snowman. Anything that you think of or imagine with a snowman, you could paint. And so really leaving that broad, open idea for them. It doesn't have to be just what you're telling them. They can make it their own. Again, another example, that is Roy Lichtenstein's, I think I said that right. Georgia O'Keeffe, so a desert snowman, not really one that I would think of. So it just shows, everybody's unique. Everybody has different imagery from their different experiences, their lives, their cultures. There's Vincent van Gogh's take on a snowman. This is a classic. And then at the end, it just asks you, what would your snowman look like? So ending the lesson and offering what I thought could be just a bunch of different materials. So I think something like this could be a great lesson for kids to get to know different materials and mediums. You don't really have to do much except for prepare the materials and then let them have the ability to explore and create and figure out the materials on their own. You're there to scaffold and guide them, but I think actually having them work with these materials and figuring out what they love and what they want to use to create gives them a lot of power and helps them find their identity as an artist and the different expressions and what they can do and who they are as an artist. So really fostering the idea of not comparing to one another and that everybody is unique and they're all great no matter what, and that kind of idea. So I just love this book because it shows that you can't compare because everybody's going to have different images, different ideas. They're all beautiful, they're all unique, they're all done with different things. For assessment, you could use formative assessment. You can see what kids already know or what they're using in their art, whether it's lines, shading, the colors that they're using, color mixing, and then scaffold their learning from there, or you can see where you can go in and offer new materials or scaffold their learning on different, just different ideas, building on their ideas. And then for older grades, I was thinking in the back, they have a little bit of a history of each artist who is featured in the book. So they have just a little blurb on each artist, which actually talks about, you know, where they grew up, their background, and how that might have affected their style or their imagination, their art, how they got to where they are as an artist. So that could be a good lead up into doing an inquiry into artists, how art is affected by culture, where you live. There's a specific First Nations artist in this book as well, if you wanted to use that for First Nations content. So all around, amazing book. I would get it and add it to your collection. Okay, so for this, what you need is flour, foam, shaving cream, and glue. So there's a cup of flour in here, and then you need about 3 cups of shaving cream. It really depends on how much you want to make. Like, it depends on your classroom. So, didn't come out of the cup all the way. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can kind of play with it and add and take away as you need. But like I said, this is a good thing you can do with kids too, just for measurement and talking about why you might need specific consistencies or specific amount of materials, how much is a cup. And when you mix it, you want to be careful not to over mix it because you want it to be airy. And then in the material list, I wrote plastic bags because you can fill up a plastic bag and you can kind of squirt it out that way, like you're piping it out, like you would with icing or something. But you can also let them explore with their hands, feel what it's like for texture. You can just let them use a paintbrush. You can really let them use whatever tool they choose to paint with. And then it also says food coloring. That's optional. That's if you choose to add coloring for differences. I left it white just because I was talking about snowmen and they are white. So, and I'm going to put it on black paper to show you my paper. So I'm just going to use my hands just to show you. Because, like I said, all snowmen are different. So, or we're teaching them that their snowman can look any way. And different mediums. There's splatter painting, there's dot painting. This one, finger painting. And it feels pretty cool. So if there's a sensory, someone who likes the sensory feel. And it will dry 3D, which is cool. I'll kind of show you. You can see how it's puffed up on the paper. And then you can go back when it's dry too, and they could add different mediums for eyes or hat, nose, whatever they want to add to their snowman. So it's kind of a fun activity, and the kids get to enjoy playing and exploring with different materials. And now that my hands are a mess, I'm going to say goodbye, and thanks for watching. And yeah, check out the resource. I'll see you later. Have a good night.